If you're dreaming of a gorgeous, thriving garden, but find yourself spending way more time pulling weeds than actually enjoying your plants, well, this is for you. We are about to unlock one of gardening's best kept secrets to make your life so much easier and your garden way more joyful.
Okay, let's be real for a second. Who hasn't felt that back-breaking frustration? You spend a whole weekend clearing out your garden beds, feeling so accomplished. And then, just a few days later, those pesky weeds are right back, almost like they're laughing at you. It can feel like a battle you just can't win.
And you know, this battle really matters. Weeds aren't just ugly, they are super aggressive competitors. They're stealing precious sunlight, hogging all the water, and sucking up nutrients from the soil. Basically everything your flowers and veggies need to grow strong. They are literally robbing your plants blind. But what if I told you there's a simple, super effective, and totally natural way to fight back? It's time to meet the hero of our story, your garden's very own guardian. Let's talk about the magic of mulch. So, what even is mulch? Well, to put it simply, it's just a protective layer that you spread out over your garden soil. It can be made from all sorts of stuff, which we'll get into in just a bit. But the main idea? To protect and improve what's underneath. Think of it like a cozy blanket for your garden. And hey, this is not some new trendy hack. Mulching is a technique gardeners have been using for like centuries. Natural materials like wood chips, straw, or even just fallen leaves do so much more than make things look neat and tidy. They are absolute workhorses, seriously improving your garden's health by holding in moisture, keeping the soil temperature just right, and you guessed it, stopping weeds in their tracks. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this simple layer of stuff actually stop those super determined weeds? Well, it's not magic, it's actually science. Mulch has this brilliant three-pronged attack that it wages on weeds. First and foremost, mulch plays defense by blocking sunlight. See, most weed seeds are tiny, and they need a little bit of light as a signal to wake up and start growing. By spreading a layer of mulch, you're basically plunging them into darkness, stopping them before they even have a chance to sprout. No light, no life. It's really that simple. Now, for any really stubborn weed that does manage to sprout in the dark, mulch has a second line of defense. It's a physical barrier. A nice, thick layer of mulch makes it incredibly tough for a fragile little seedling to push its way up to the surface. It's kind of like trying to punch through a big, fluffy pillow. They just run out of energy and give up. And for its final trick, mulch does something really clever with moisture. It keeps the soil underneath nice and damp for your plant's roots, which is perfect. But the very top layer of the mulch itself dries out super fast. This creates a dry, unwelcoming surface for any new weed seeds that happen to land there, denying them the water they need to get started. Pretty smart, right? Okay, so we know how it works. Now for the really important part, making it work in your garden. Getting the application right is totally key, so let's get practical. As you can see, not all mulch is created equal. If you want something that lasts a long time around trees and shrubs, wood chips are fantastic. In a veggie garden, straw is a great choice because it's so light and easy to handle. And honestly, for enriching any garden bed, you just can't beat composted leaves. Just be sure to keep the little trade-offs for each one in mind. This brings us to probably the most important question every single gardener asks. How much mulch should I actually use? It's so tempting to think that a super thick layer is better, but that's one of the biggest mistakes you can possibly make. Here it is, the sweet spot. The golden rule is a layer that's about 2 to 3 inches deep. That's just enough to block the light and stop the weeds, but it's not so much that you accidentally suffocate your plant's roots. So burn that number into your brain, 2 to 3 inches. And speaking of mistakes, even when you have the best intentions, it's pretty easy to get mulching wrong. So let's quickly cover the most common slip-ups to make sure your mulch is helping, not hurting your beautiful plants. Have you ever seen this before? It's called a mulch volcano, and oh my gosh, it is a huge no-no. When you pile mulch right up against a tree trunk, it traps all this moisture against the bark. This basically rolls out a welcome mat for rot, diseases, and all sorts of pests that can seriously harm or even kill the tree. The solution is so simple. Avoid the volcano and embrace the donut. All you have to do is pull the mulch a few inches away from the trunk of any tree or shrub, creating a nice flat donut-shaped ring. This lets the trunk breathe and stay dry, keeping it happy and healthy. And here are 3 last little pro tips for success. First, and this one is non-negotiable, Always weed your garden beds thoroughly before you mulch. You've got to start with a clean slate. Second, give your smaller plants some personal space. Just like with the tree trunks, pull the mulch an inch or two away from the delicate stems of your flowers and vegetables to keep them from rotting. And finally, if you're adding new mulch on top of last year's, don't just dump it on. Take a rake and gently fluff up that old compacted layer first. It's a small step, but it makes a huge difference for air and water flow.
So there you have it. You are now officially equipped with the knowledge to use mulch like a total pro. This one simple step can completely transform your gardening experience, giving you so much more time to just enjoy the beauty you've created. If you're somehow still not convinced about the power of mulch, get ready for this number, 80%. What does that mean for you? Well, it means a lot less time on your knees pulling weeds and a lot more time kicking back and just enjoying the garden you worked so hard on. That's right. According to the gardening pros, a proper 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch can prevent up to 80% of weeds from ever even showing up. Just think about that for a second. Cutting down your weeding time by that much. That's why mulch isn't just a tip. It's your garden's secret weapon.
So let's do a super quick recap. Remember, mulch stops weeds by blocking light and creating a physical barrier. Always aim for that magic depth of 2 to 3 inches. Avoid those dreaded mulch volcanoes and keep mulch away from trunks and stems. And finally, always weed before you mulch.
You know, by taking a little bit of time to mulch correctly, you're not just preventing weeds. You're saving water, you're enriching your soil, and you're protecting your plants. You are creating the absolute best environment for your garden to thrive, freeing you up to focus on the real joy of it all. Because every single seed you plant is a step toward health, nature, and the simple joy of life. Happy gardening!